Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here, and in today's video, we're going to be talking through some player props I like on Prizepicks for the last game of the Week 1 college football slate. We do have a game on Monday night, and typically we won't have college football games on Monday night. In a week we're going to have Monday Night Football for NFL, so that'll take place on Monday nights, but we do have a college football game on Monday night to wrap up Week 1. We got TCU facing North Carolina. First game with Bill Belichick as their head coach, so it's going to be fun to see how that goes. But I've got some player props I do like for this game. Taking a first look at the board on Sunday night, since it is only one game tonight. Be smart here with your bankroll. Don't go crazy. There's not going to be a lot of plays that stand out when it's only one game. I've got two plays I'm going to give out in this video. As always, we're going to break down these plays. We're going to share why I like them. But yeah, again, guys, be smart with your bankroll here. We have big slates on Saturdays. That's kind of what we can look forward to. But I did still want to do some videos for these smaller slates, especially on the days where we don't have like any NFL. Next week, we're going to have NFL games. So, Thursdays, Sundays, Monday nights, you can be on the lookout for NFL videos those days since we have NFL. But no NFL tonight on Monday night. That'll be next week. Let's talk about some plays I like for this college football game. Now, before we do get started, guys, make sure that you hit that like button down below. If you enjoy these Prizepicks videos, hit that subscribe button as well. And if you guys are new to the channel and if you are new to Prizepicks, make sure that you go sign up for Prizepicks and use that promo code NOAH when you do sign up for Prizepicks with my promo code and play $5. You're going to get $50 worth of free lineups instantly added to your account. So this is an easy way to kickstart your bankroll on Prizepicks. Use the free lineups they give you, win some money hopefully, and you can start to build up that bankroll. But again, if you don't have an account over there on Prizepicks, use that code NOAH when you sign up. And then also, I do want to give a quick shout out to Sleeper. We do have a partnership with Sleeper. You guys can go sign up for Sleeper. Download their app, use promo code NOAH, and when you sign up for Sleeper, you'll get your first deposit matched up to $100. So whatever you want to put in on your first deposit, whether it be 10, 15, 25, 50, $100, you will get that matched 100%. So if you deposit $100, you'll get an additional $100 to play with. Now, you don't have to deposit $100. That's totally up to you. But just know that you do get a 100% match on your first deposit when you sign up for Sleeper with promo code NOAH. So go check them out, guys. Download the Sleeper app. And again, use that code NOAH when you sign up. But let's talk about some plays here that I like for today on Monday. Now, I do want to recap our plays from our video on Saturday. We gave out 4 picks on Saturday. One of the picks that we gave out got taken off the board like as I was recording the video, but then they actually added the prop back to the board, and that pick did hit. So we gave out 4 picks on Saturday. We hit 3 out of 4. Unfortunately, couldn't get the full sweep. We missed on Marcel Reed over 9.5 rush attempts. Reed had 8 rush attempts. Got pulled late in that game because it was a blowout. He didn't get pulled like super late. I think there was like maybe 3 or 4 minutes left. He didn't play like the final drive, which he probably wouldn't have got rush attempts anyway on the final drive had he been in the game. But we did hit our other 3 plays. Steve Angeli over pass attempts. Braylon Braxton over fantasy score. Bryant Wesco over fantasy score. Cashed those 3. Unfortunately missed on Marcel Reed over rush attempts, but still 3 out of 4 on our 4 plays for the Saturday slate. Hopefully I helped you guys make some money, and let's try and make some money here on this game for Monday night. So the first prop that I like Monday night is going to be a fantasy score prop. So there's 3 fantasy score lines on Prizepicks right now for this game. They might add some more as we get closer to the start of the game, but right now we only have 3 players on the board for fantasy score. But one of these lines I do like, and it's Gio Lopez. We're going to take Gio Lopez for more than 18.5 fantasy score. Now, Gio Lopez is going to be the starting quarterback for North Carolina this year. He transferred over from South Alabama. He was at South Alabama last season, and he put up some decent numbers at South Alabama. In 11 games, he threw for about 2,500 yards in about 11 games, had 18 passing touchdowns, did throw 5 interceptions, but then he also added on 465 rushing yards and 7 rushing touchdowns. So he is a dual threat quarterback. He is a guy that can give you rushing upside. And anytime you're taking, an over on a quarterback's fantasy score, it's always nice when they can give you some rushing upside. Just because if they're not having the best game as a passer, there's a chance that they could make up for that with their legs. And Gio Lopez, again, last year did run for 465 yards, had 7 rushing touchdowns. He did run for over 100 yards in one game against Appalachian State. Had a couple games where he had over 60 yards. So he's, a mobile quarterback. And this North Carolina offense, they were, fairly run heavy last year, but last season they did have one of the best running backs in the country, Amarion Hampton, who is now in the NFL. without Amarion Hampton this season, I think we could see this North Carolina offense lean a little bit more on the pass game. It's hard to tell. I think they have a new offensive coordinator as well, along with a new head coach, Bill Belichick. They did go out and get, I think it was Freddie Kitchens, their new offensive coordinator. So it's going to be hard to see, to tell how their offense is going to be, especially without Amarion Hampton. They do have Devon Gase, who's actually a pretty good backup. He didn't get a lot of playing time last season because he was backing up Amarion Hampton. But when he did get opportunity last season, he actually was pretty decent. He was pretty efficient, I want to say. I'm actually going to take a look at his numbers last year, but I think in the limited touches that he did get, he was pretty good. So last season, he averaged about 5 yards per carry. He had a game where he ran for over 100 yards. Now that was against that was against Charlotte, which is not a good team. But when he was getting opportunity last year, like when there was a game he had 9 carries for 54 yards. He had 16 carries for 105 yards against Charlotte. He was decent. But I definitely think, again, I think we are going to see North Carolina be a little bit more of a pass-heavy offense this year. Gio Lopez is a guy that can gun the ball down the field. He's a pretty good quarterback, even though he's known a little bit more for his legs because he is more of a runner. He's still a fairly good passer. He should have some better weapons as well in this North Carolina team, playing for North Carolina, than he had at South Alabama. So he should have better offense, hopefully. Good. I think it's a good matchup against TCU. TCU last year against the pass was fairly decent, but we have a good total in this game, which is what really stands out. This game has a 55.5 total. So there's expected to be points scored in this game. TCU, they're a very pass-heavy offense, so I could definitely see this being a spot where TCU, maybe gets some points up and kind of forces North Carolina to kind of keep up. Because TCU last year was one of the more pass-heavy offenses in the country. Josh Hoover, his pass yards prop, it's set at like almost 300 yards. So like clearly, the sports books are expecting a lot of pass attempts, a lot of pass yards for Josh Hoover here. And if that means TCU's putting up points, if they're gunning the ball through the air, that's going to probably put North Carolina in a situation where they have to kind of keep up. Right now, I think the spread in this game, TCU is favored, I do believe, even on the road. TCU is favored by 3.5. So in potentially a trailing game script, there's going to be pass attempts here for Gio Lopez. He also does give us some rushing upside, which is great for fantasy. You look at his pass yards line, that's set at 217.5. So he's projected for about 8 or 9 fantasy points just from pass yards. He's projected for about 3 points from rushing yards, because 30 rushing yards would be 3 points. And then you factor in touchdowns. I think he's pretty likely to throw at least 1 touchdown. There's definitely a chance he could throw 2 touchdowns here, or he could potentially get a rushing touchdown. He just has a lot of ways he can get 18.5 fantasy points. So I do like this is our first play for today. Gio Lopez, more than 18.5 fantasy score. And for what it's worth, right now on Underdog, another DFS app that does fantasy points for college football, they have their line on Gio Lopez set at 20.05. So Underdog has their line on Lopez just over 20 fantasy points. We're getting his line at 18.5 on Prizepicks. So there's a little bit of value here, in my opinion. That's going to be our first play for today. Now, our other play that I like is a rush yards prop. And we're going to take Josh Hoover for less than 4.5 rush yards. Now, I know what you're thinking. 4.5, really, really low line. All it takes is like one potential scramble or maybe a design run for Hoover to go over this line. And you're not wrong, but you got to remember in college football, you do lose yards for sacks. And as you can see last year, there were a lot of games where Josh Hoover had negative rush yards. In fact, I think he had negative rush yards in like half of his games last year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 out of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 7 out of 13 games last year, Josh Hoover had negative rush yards. And I believe he went under this line in all but 2 games. There was one game where he had 10 rush yards. There was one game where he had 7 rush yards. He went over this line in 4 games last year. So he had one game, 1 carry for 10 yards. There was one game he had 3 carries for 7 yards. He had 7 carries for 7 yards, and then he had, 2 carries for 9 yards. But then he had some games with negative yards. He had a game with 0 yards. Josh Hoover is not a much of a runner at all. He's not a scrambler. He's a pocket passer. So he's not a guy that typically scrambles much at all. Again, last year he had negative 19 rushing yards for the entire season. The year before that, in I think 7 games he played in the year before that. He played in 8 games the year before that, and he had 5 rush yards in 8 games. Just not a mobile quarterback. He's a pocket passer. He's even though he will drop back a lot, he's not really going to be looking to scramble much at all. So I think this under looks pretty good in my opinion on Josh Hoover. Now, Rush yards prop, I'll be honest, like rush yards props for college football can be very dicey because like you could take an over on a guy, he goes over his line by 10 yards and then he has like 2 sacks and he loses yards and then he goes under. Hoover could have like, I don't know, he could have negative 10 yards. It's just a lot of ways that this can go. But I think more times than not, you play this game out 100 times, Josh Hoover probably finishes with less than four rush yards, probably 60 out of 100 times, like definitely over half the times he's probably going under this line. So I'll take it here at 4.5 rush yards on Hoover. I was looking around like the sportsbook market, like right now on sportsbooks, you can't really find a rush yards prop on Hoover. Like I think FanDuel doesn't even have him lined for rush yards, but Underdog, they have a line on Hoover's rush yards. They have their line at 2.5. Obviously, 2 yard difference doesn't mean a lot, but when we're talking about a line that 4.5 and 2.5, that's a big difference. Like that's a huge percentage difference. I know it's a small number, but still, you'd be surprised how often that 2 yard difference could actually mean can matter, and it could be the difference between winning and losing. But I think this prop on Josh Hoover is pretty good here. I know it's a little dicey. It's a low line. Taking an under on a low line feels dicey, but again, Hoover's not much of a not much of a scrambler. He's just a straight pocket passer. So I think more times than not, he's probably taking some sacks, getting some negative rush yards. And even if he doesn't take any sacks, he's rarely going to be looking to scramble much at all. So I do like this as our second play for today. Josh Hoover, we're going to take for less than 4.5 rush yards. So these are two props, guys, that I do like for today on Monday for the North Carolina TCU game. Again, this is the only game that we have Monday night, but I wanted to make a video for this game. It's Labor Day. I know a lot of you guys are probably going to be off work, going to be looking forward to this college football game on Monday night. So thought I'd give you a couple plays I like for this game. And hopefully we can hit both these plays and we can make some money tonight. But again, guys, appreciate you watching. Appreciate your support on these Prizepicks videos. Make sure that you hit that like button down below. If you guys do enjoy these videos, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. And if you guys are new to the channel, and if you are new to Prizepicks, make sure that you go sign up for Prizepicks. Use that promo code NOAH when you sign up for Prizepicks with my promo code and play $5. You're going to get $50 worth of free lineups instantly added to your account. So make sure to go check out Prizepicks if you have not yet. But as always, guys, appreciate your support. Appreciate you watching the videos. Let's make some money tonight, and I'll see you guys in the next one.